Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, then welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing part 4, I believe, of my eyeshadow palette collection. If you guys like videos like these, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel and turn on your post notifications so you guys can stay updated when I upload new videos. So yeah, if you guys don't know already, I own many eyeshadow palettes. Eyeshadow palettes are one of the things that I review a lot of my channel, and I really like eyeshadow palettes. They're my favorite part of doing my makeup, like the whole eyeshadow part. I love eyeshadow. This video in no way is it to brag to you guys as to how many I own or what I have in my collection. It's not a bragging video. It's more for just entertainment. So also, if I declutter any palettes or if I get rid of any palettes, if they're in good condition, then I will sell them on OfferUp or Poshmark, which will be linked down in the description bar down below. However, sometimes I end up just getting rid of them, decluttering them, and giving them away to family members. But I never actually give them away just to like subscribers, especially if they're like used. So yeah, let's just get into the video. As you guys see in this little corner, you guys can see a little striped palette. So these I've actually done a video on. This is from Keira Beauty, and this is the Retro Chic palette. This is what the palette looks like. Hopefully you guys can see her really well. But yeah, this is the Retro Chic, and it comes with a mirror if you guys can't see it. And it's a really good palette. I actually really do like it. However, I haven't used it. It comes with 24 shades though, and I love the packaging. The next palette is the Weekender palette from Keira Beauty, and this is what the palette looks like. I actually did use this in my Keira Beauty bestsellers, like trying out bestsellers, and they're really great quality. I actually do really like the shades in this palette. And so far from the ones that I used, I really liked how they performed. So next, these are my Profusion that I'm going to show you, the ones that are in this little corner. So this is the Spectrum palette. I have done a video with this palette as well. I really like it. It's a really great palette. Actually, I use the pastel palette. This is the Spectrum. This is like the rainbow palette. And I really like this one. It's actually pretty good quality. The shades aren't too bad. They're a little bit powdery, so you do have to build them up. But with a good base and with like really, you know, just like taking the time to work with them, it's not like you're gonna like blend them away into nothing. But yeah, I really like this one. It's a really cute palette. Alright, so next is the Profusion Sapphires palette, and this is what this one looks like. If I can open it. So this is a blue themed palette. I wish it would have had more mattes, to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of like palettes with a lot of shimmers. They're just not my cup of tea. But this one I really enjoyed the color story, and I only swatched it. I haven't actually used it on my eyes, but it really caught my eye. And when I saw it at Walmart, since that's where some of their palettes are available at, I decided to pick it up. They're only $5 each, so it's a really good deal. Alright, next I have the Rubies palette, and as you guys can see in the reflection of the light, you might see that they're scratched up. That's just the, like, what sucks about having like a plastic palette. But the color story in this one is so cute. When I first saw it online, I wasn't that interested in it, but I really liked how it faded from like a red to like a burgundy. I just thought it was a really cool color story, and I actually really like the colors in here. Alright, so next is the violets. Of course, this is gonna be the purple palette. This one again, I kind of wish there were more mattes versus how many shimmers are actually in the palette, but it's still a cute palette. It's really nice. You guys see this shade Whoa right here. It's like a really intense shade. Ooh, that's pretty. And then you have like lilac, which is just like a really light purple. But yeah, nonetheless, it's a really cute palette. I really enjoyed the shades in here, and yeah, I really like it. Alright, moving on, we have the emeralds, and this is my favorite one that they released. I just love green shades, and I think they killed the colors in here. What I think is that like a lot of drugstore brands really do make great color stories, and this one I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I really do like the shades. I enjoy the shades a lot, especially like the golden shades in here. I'm always like talking about mattes, but the golden shades in here are super pretty, and I love this shade right here. But yeah, it's gorgeous, like super pretty, just like emerald shades, and this is what made me want to pick up the entire like collection when they had first released them. Alright, so the last one I think would be the neon palette. This is the one that I used in an actual video, and I actually really did like it. However, I feel like they perform way better when they're on a really good base. Like, definitely use an eyelid primer or some concealer, especially like an eyelid primer with a lot of coverage, because it definitely gets the pigments in here to be more intense. Alright, so next is the mauves. I think that's the last one from them, but yeah, this is the mauves palette. Again, just like really pretty light shades, rosy tone shades. Honestly, now that I look at it, I probably would declutter this one in the near future, but for now, I'm just going to keep it in my collection. Just in case like I do like a video on all the palettes, I want to have them for reference, but it's a palette that you literally could easily dupe. Like, everyone makes these shades, and it's probably shades that I have in like a ColourPop palette, to be honest. Okay, so next we have some Makeup Revolution. Now, if you watch my eyeshadow palette tag, I said Makeup Revolution has a lot of hits and misses, and they do. It's very unfortunate. Sometimes, like, you know, just certain shadows just don't work that great, or certain palettes aren't that nice. But this one in particular, I just really love the shades in it. This is called the Foil Frenzy, and it's just like a really pretty palette. I really love sometimes getting like all shimmer palettes, especially if they have tones that I just like really enjoy. So this one, I thought it was cute, so I decided to pick it up, and it's really nice. Alright, so next we have the Makeup Revolution. This is the Reloaded Provocative palette. This one I've debated if I want to keep her or not, just because I do think it's a really pretty palette. However, like I said, I have those same shades in the mauve palette, like the mauves palette from Profusion. Like, I could literally dupe both of these palettes. Like, they just look so freaking similar, like the shades in here. But I don't know, like something always just makes me like, no, like I already spent the money, like I might as well keep it. But if I don't reach for this in the next 6 months, I'm definitely gonna declutter it, because yeah, like I just don't like, and I have swatched it, so I can't just like give it away. This is the Reloaded Passion for Color, and this one, honestly, it's cute, but to be honest, this is like an all shimmer palette, and it only has 2 mattes. But these shimmers in here are like super unique to me. Sometimes I pick up these palettes because I think they're like super pretty or whatever, but then I actually look more into them, and I just kind of feel like it was a waste of money and time, because although it is a pretty palette, it's just not something that I'm gonna reach for. Alright, so next is one of my favorites. This is the Reloaded Marvelous Mattes, and Marvelous, yeah. So this is a Marvelous Mattes palette, and I really like this one just because it has all matte shades. You get a lot of colorful shades, some more unique shades. It's just like a palette that you can easily go to if you're looking for a yellow or a red or a, you know, like a purple or a green. It's still a really cute palette, and I actually do like this one. I don't know, it reminds me of like coloring pencils and stuff. The next one I have in here is actually one of my favorites that I've ordered. I know it looks all janked up, but this one I actually ordered via line, and I'm telling you, like, the plastic packaging just makes it so bad, like, whenever they get scratched up. So this is the Reloaded Deep Dive, and this is what this one looks like. It's an all blue palette, and I love blue themed palettes. This one again is kind of lackluster, and it doesn't have a lot of blue shades. Like, it does, but a lot of them are shimmery. In total, you're getting like 5 mattes, and they're kind of mediocre. Like, again, I kind of look at it now, like there's way prettier blue palettes that I own. But yeah, at the time it just seemed like a pretty palette. Alright, next we have the Revolution Reloaded Red Alert, and I thought this one was really pretty at first. To be honest, you really don't need these palettes. Like, sure, there's a burgundy in here, and that one looks like really intense and stuff, but I don't know. Like, the shimmers are nice, right? But I don't know. I mean, aside from that berry shade, if you took it out, I feel like the palette, like, and that peach shade maybe, that's a pretty peach shade, but I have shades like that already in my collection, so. Alright, next we're moving on to one of my favorites. Actually, I don't think this color story will ever get old to me, and that's why I picked it up. This is the Euphoria Reloaded palette from Revolution. And this one I actually ordered it off of Beauty Bay, but you can pick it up at Ulta, I believe now. And I just love the color story in here. I like the really bright greens, the blue, and it does have more mattes than most of the palettes do. This pink right here is a shimmer, as well as this blue over here. It has like satin finish. Then there's like a silver shade, which is kind of lackluster, and then this shade right here. Again, their shimmers don't apply that well. Like, they don't swatch that well either, but I really do enjoy like the mattes in here. I don't know, I gotta try this palette, but to me it was really pretty and I liked it when I saw it. I feel like I could have easily recreated it, but I definitely like this one. Alright, next we have some e.l.f. palettes. We have the e.l.f. Opposites Attract. So I saw this one and I thought it was really cute. I actually really enjoy the colors in here, and I have used it before and I actually really do enjoy the formula. It has a lot of neutrals and some pops of color. It's nothing groundbreaking, like you can definitely find colors like these now, but at the time it was really unique for e.l.f. to come out with color stories like these. Next is one of my favorites that they've released, and this is the 18 Hit Wonders, and they have 4 of these palettes, I believe. There's also a neutral one, which I've never picked up, and I honestly don't plan to, but the 18 Hit Wonders looked really pretty to me. I love rainbow shades, and I've actually swatched the Vibrant and Moss shade, and those look really pretty. Like, the shimmers in here are actually very nice. Alright, and the last one from e.l.f. is the Earth and Ocean, and this one, when I first saw it, I love greens, I love blues, and I just love this palette. It's such a pretty palette, and I love this like shimmer in here. I don't know, like it doesn't like swatch perfectly, but I just really like the textured shadow. Alright, and next from Revolution Pro, we have this rainbow palette. This one kind of looks like the Euphoria and the Matte Revolution one, like all the shades that you practically need to create a rainbow look, and those are the only ones I find worth keeping in case I do like a rainbow drugstore look or something. Alright, so next we have the Revolution Tammy X collaboration. This is one of my favorites that they released so far. I love the packaging, and the shades inside are absolutely stunning. I like how there's mainly all shimmer on the top, and then the rest of the palette is matte. It's a gorgeous palette. Alright, next we have the Revolution Soph X collab, and this is the Extra Spice. Now, this was one of my favorite palettes. I freaking love it. It's such a good palette, and I love the color story of it. Next is the Revolution Soph X Ultra Eyeshadow. This is the first one that they ever came out with, and I mentioned this one in my eyeshadow palette tag. It's a nice palette nonetheless. Like, it's really pretty, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. Like, it reminds me a lot of the Emily Noel one, and I actually got rid of that one, which is why I decided keeping this one, because I just thought it was cute. But if I don't use it again in like the next 6 months, I probably will declutter it. It's in really great condition, so I'll probably have it on my opera up or something. Alright, so next we have the Revolution Makeup Revolution. This is the Life on the Dance Floor. Now guys, this palette to me was so pretty. when I first looked at it, but it was on sale. So this palette's like really close to just like, I don't know, like I just thought it was like really pretty, but I think it might be time to let this one go. Alright, so the next one is the Life on the Dance Floor, and this is the black one. Now this one has a more cool color story to me, and this is the one that I've always like debated keeping just because I really do like the shades in here. I'm gonna try her out. I feel like a lot of the shades in here do remind me of the ones that are in the Euphoria, but I really do like the shades. I feel like they discontinued these and these are so good. I got them while they were on sale. I think I paid like $9 for it. Alright, last in the row is the Lorac Cosmetics palettes, and I showed you guys these on the Black Friday / Cyber Monday haul that I did. So anyway, this is the Daydreams palette. It's a shadow palette, and I believe it comes with, it doesn't tell me. But yeah, this is the palette. Super pretty. And they're actually really good quality. I do really enjoy the quality of Lorac Cosmetics eyeshadows. So yeah, this one's super cute. And then we have the Stargazing palette, and it's a little bit more deep. You can create a lot of smoky eye looks with this one, but I really do like it. And then we have the Wanderlust, which looks like this. Again, super pretty, really colorful, and has like deeper shades. And then the Dreamscape is what, the Dreamscape is what made me want these palettes in the first place. It's just a beautiful rainbow palette, and I love every single shade in here, and they're all matte, so that's a +1 in my book. Alright, so now we can move on to like the higher end part of the collection. Like I'm going to show you guys all like the higher end kind of palettes. So sorry if I keep moving my camera. So this is the Kat Von D. This is the 10-year anniversary eyeshadow palette. I was waiting for this palette to get out because I loved the color story of it. And this is what this palette looks like. So I think it's absolutely stunning. I love Kat Von D's eyeshadow like color story. It's just a gorgeous palette to me. Alright, moving on. This is the Orb of Light Full Moon palette from, what's this? Black Moon Cosmetics. This is such a cute palette, and I've actually used her a couple times. I love the formula in here. I definitely recommend picking it up if you get a chance to. It has a really big pan for that cream shade, which I don't really use cream shades all that often, but it's just really good for like an all over smoky eye or just like a really matte cut crease. Like, I love this palette. Alright, so next we have the only packaging, I think the only palette that has the packaging in here. This is the Sigma Cor de Rosa. Now I still have the little thing because I thought it was freaking gorgeous for the mirror. But yeah, it does come with a brush, and it comes with all of these beautiful eyeshadows. And I haven't used this palette, but I know a lot of people said that it looks like the ColourPop Sweet Talk palette, and I remember that I had said that in the video where I showed you guys this palette, but I personally really like the color story, and I just love shades like this, and I love the packaging. Alright, so next we have the Sigma X Beauty Bird collab. This one, again, I know a lot of people kind of like looked at it. I don't think it's even available on Sigma anymore. I'm not a big fan of the shimmers. Like, I feel like once you touch the shimmers, they have like a weird overlay. But I do like all the mattes that are in here. The more I look at this palette, I felt like I just picked it up because I felt like I needed to get the palette. But now that I look at it, I'm pretty sure I would have been fine without it. But still, I feel like keeping it just because I really do like the color story, and I actually really enjoyed the shadows when I first used it. Alright, moving on. This is the Dose of Colors Hidden Treasure palette. Now, you guys, I've tried to get rid of this palette so many times, but every single time I'm about to declutter it, I just get sunk back in, and I love the formula of Dose of Colors eyeshadows, so I used this and I loved it. There is a lot of fallout in the shimmers, but the mattes are beautiful and the shimmers still are really nice, so I decided to keep it in my collection. And next we have some more Dose of Colors. Let's go ahead and get the ones from the middle. Okay, so If you guys are watching this now, this palette is probably still on sale. This is the Urban Decay Wired Pressed Pigment Palette. The reason I still have it in its packaging is because I do plan on using it soon, and if I don't like it, I will return it. I did only pay $19.50 for it, but still a stunning eyeshadow palette. This is what they look like, well, what the shades look like. I feel like this isn't so much of a rainbow, like in your face palette. I feel like it's more pastel, a little bit more of a muted down version for the electric, but I love the packaging. I think it's super cool. Okay, so moving on, we have some KKW Beauty palettes. The first one I have here is the KKW X Mario collab. This palette is absolutely stunning, but I've never actually not liked the formula of KKW, and I've actually used your shadows a lot, which is why I'm such a big fan of her eyeshadow palettes. I just really like everything that she does. They are more neutral. It's not like she's gonna come out with a rainbow palette, but I like the classiness and just like the classic look of this palette. Alright, next we have the KKW, I believe this is the classic, if not it's a Blossom one, but as you guys can see, it's a little bit dirty. I should have cleaned her, but yeah, I do use these palettes a little bit. I feel like I use these palettes and I reach for them quite a bit. I just really do like the shades in them. These shimmers perform really nicely. The mattes are really nice. They are $45 each, I believe, and she doesn't do free shipping, but I definitely recommend waiting for a sale if you're going to pick them up. If not, pick them up on Ulta if you have some points. And then this is the Classic Blossom. So the last one I showed you is just the classic palette. This one is so pretty. The first time I looked at it, I wasn't going to pick it up, but then I kept looking at it. I just think it's a gorgeous palette. I like the deep cherry in there, and then just like all the nice rosy tones. I just really like this one, and I thought it was really pretty. And then one of my favorites so far is this So Fire palette. This one is just so warm tone, so in your face. I feel like this is such a pretty palette. I actually got it for my makeup plug, so I saved quite a bit of money on it, but it's definitely a great palette, and I love the packaging. Alright, so next we have the Dose of Colors. Yeah, this is the Dose of Colors Brancation palette. This is the second collaboration with Desi and Katie. I love Desi Perkins and I love Katie, so this palette I'll probably keep forever. But I really do like this palette. It's actually super pretty. I do like the shimmers in here. The mattes are amazing, and the packaging is everything. Alright, so next is the Lorac Pro palette. So this is the Lorac Pro 1. I mentioned her in my last video. This is one of my favorites. I've actually repurchased her for the second time, so this is the brand new one. I really like the Lorac Cosmetics formula, but I definitely have to try this one again because I feel like they might have changed the formulation on it. I don't know, but yeah, I really do like this palette. It's super neutral. I know it looks kind of boring, but it's one of my favorites. Alright, so the next one is the Lorac Pro 2. Again, one of my favorite palettes of all time. I keep her in my collection because I don't want to get rid of it. It's just such a pretty palette to me. If you took out that navy, it'd probably be the most boring palette on the universe, but I really like that navy shade. And yeah. Alright, and the final one is the Lorac Pro Palette 4. I actually don't own the 3 anymore. I sold it on Mercari, I believe. But yes, this is the 4. It's more warm toned, has some burgundies in there, and I just really like it. Okay, so now we can move on to some more, I'm trying not to slap my palettes, but this is the P.Louise palette. This is their first palette that they ever released, and I actually bought it when it was on sale. I really do enjoy the shades in this one, and I don't know, I just feel like it's such a pretty palette. I really do like the staples in this one. Okay, so next we have the Dose of Colors Ice Cream palette. This was so pretty to me when I first saw it, and I feel like this is like one of the, it's pretty pastel to me, like there's a lot of pastel shades. I really do like it. I do like the formulation, and they build pretty well. They are a little bit light though. It's a really cute palette, and I like the theme, so I picked it up. And finally we have the Cool palette, and this is from Sample Beauty. This is their first ever eyeshadow palette. I really like Sample Beauty, so I decided to pick it up, and I actually really like this one. Okay, so next we have the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. This was a palette I wasn't going to pick up, but I heard more and more people talk about it and also speak on how they really enjoyed the formulation and how it was really pigmented. So yeah, once I heard that, I was like, okay, well, I need to get it. I haven't reached for her a lot. I've used her a little bit, but I haven't reached for her too much. But yeah, so far the times that I have reached for it, it's worked really nicely. This is a palette I don't even use, but I keep it more because I really like the packaging. I like the unicorn, and of course it's from Too Faced. So that was a Too Faced Life's a Festival, and it has all these shimmers as well as the mattes in here. I really like the shade called Fireflies. It's just such a pretty green. And then this shade down here called Dusk Till Dawn, and like Mystic Rain. I've just never seen shades like this, so I like all the shimmer shades in here. And then we have the Delancey, I believe. This is the Flamboyance palette. This is just a red toned palette, and it has some really fiery shimmers in here. This is a really underrated indie brand. I do own a few palettes from them, not too many. But yeah, I definitely need to try them. I haven't tried the brand at all. I've only purchased from them. So this is the Watch Me Blush palette from Crayon Case. And this is a palette, again, I got rid of my crayon box, like the crayon palette. All the colors that I wanted to be matte in the palette were shimmer or had like sparkle in it. So this is the one that I decided to keep. I owned that one from Crayon Case, and I believe that was the only one, and then this one I really wanted. I really do like the shades. They're nice. I like the palette when I swatch it. Like, it just reminds me of why I bought it, but the more I look at it in the packaging, I always want to get rid of it because I'm just like, I have palettes like these already. But I'm gonna keep her until I finally decide to let her go. This is the Lunar Beauty Life's a Drag. Now, I really like Manny, and I love his palette. I think he comes out with super cool color stories, and the times that I've played around with this palette, I've really enjoyed it. He actually killed it, and I especially love the shade called B. It's such a gorgeous shimmer. But yeah, he really did his thing with this palette, and I really like it. I know that he hasn't made any more palettes like these, but for this to be the first palette he's ever released, I think it was pretty nice. So next we have the Fierte. I don't know how you pronounce this brand, but this is an indie brand, and it's actually a black owned makeup brand. I love this palette. I saw it promoted on an influencer's makeup page, but I forgot who it was. And from there I was just like, it's pastel, it's neon, and it's fun. It has a lot of mattes, and it has a row of shimmer. I just think it's a really cute palette. So if you definitely want to pick it up, check out our website. I think this one is still available. But yeah, it's super cute. Next is the Keira Picante palette, and this is such a pretty palette. I picked it up when it first released, and I really do like it. I've used it a few times, and it's really nice, but I definitely have not deeped into all of the shades. But yeah, I really do like the palette, and I like Keira as a brand. The next one is the matte palette. This is an all matte palette, and it's a colorful palette. I've heard a lot of people say really good things about it, but I have personally yet to try it, so I definitely have to get into it. Alright, so next we have the Zoeva Matte Spectrum Collection. I actually ordered this all the way from the UK, but now I believe they actually sell these on like Ulta and stuff. I really love this palette. It's such a perfect palette. I love the color story. It's just one of my favorites. Like, I really do like it. I feel like the shades are nice to work with. They're not like super pigmented, but they definitely are really easy to blend and really easy to pack on. So that's just the formulation of Zoeva palettes. I actually picked up the matte palette from a recent Boxy pop-up, so I'm excited to try that one. Okay, next is the Sephora Pro palette. This is what the palette looks like. At the time that I bought this palette, I don't know why I felt like all the shades in here were super unique, but I loved the color story, and that's why I decided to pick it up. I've only tried a few shades, and at the time I never really liked to reach for it because it was so expensive. But yeah, and also like these bottom ones are like foiled shades, so they tend to crumble a lot. The Urban Decay Naked Honey palette. I've recently shown this to you guys in a haul video, but this is what the palette looks like in all of its glory. It is so satisfying to see. But yes, this is what the palette looks like. I haven't taken the brush out yet. I always just leave the brushes in there. But I really do like this palette. The times that I have used it, I really have enjoyed it, and I really like the warm tone shades. So I picked it up while I was on sale, so it makes me feel really good about it. Okay, so the next one is the Naked 2 palette. This one, like I've shown you guys, this is beat up, and it's gonna be time to get rid of her soon. I don't think I'm gonna purchase the Naked 2 again. It was nice while it lasted, but to be honest, I've just had this in my collection for really long. It's more of a sentimental thing that I have it in here, but I don't know. I feel like I'll probably end up decluttering it sooner or later. Alright, so next is the Naked 3, and the Naked 3 was a palette that I wanted for such a long time because I remember when I used to watch YouTube videos and everyone would talk about this palette and I would just want it so bad. And like you look at Trick, and Trick was like such an iconic shade. Like, let me just show you guys. This is the shade Trick swatched. And I remember that people would use it like on their lids, as well as like the shade Buzz, or like they would put Nooner in the crease and then blend it out with Limit. But to be honest, they're very light. So yeah, I feel like I'll end up getting rid of this one as well in the future. Okay, next is the Urban Decay Naked palette, and this one I also got on sale because supposedly, I just remember that they were saying that they were going to get rid of it, and I was like, you know what, it's now or never, like I need to get it before it sells out. And I've never used it. I feel like, again, it's just to fill that, like, that I had the collection, and again, I got this one while it was on sale. Okay, this one I actually got at Nordstrom Rack, and this is the Naked Smoky palette. This one they discontinued a while ago, but it's still a cute palette. I always tell myself I'm going to reach for it because I've never seen a color story like this one, and I really like it. I don't know, I just do. Then we have the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette, and this is what that one looks like. So yeah, it's a really pretty color story. If any I would keep would be the Naked Smoky, the Naked Heat, the Naked Cherry, and the Naked Honey. But I feel like Naked 3 I probably have to get rid of already because I don't know. Naked Cherry is a really pretty one too, but if anything, the Naked Heat is definitely my favorite. Because it has all those warm tones, and the Naked Honey as well. I could do without the Naked Cherry. Alright, so now we're moving into my Too Faced collection, like all of my Too Faced bars or whatever. So yeah, let's get into it. Alright, so this is the Too Faced chocolate bar palette. We all know her. She's iconic. She's really, really pretty. We love her. If you don't have her, then yeah, this is such an iconic palette. I really do like it. I've used this palette so much. The next one is the Too Faced Semi-Chocolate Sweet Bar. Yeah, Semi-Chocolate Sweet Chocolate Bar. This one is nice, but not as nice as the first one. We have the shade Cookie in here. It's almost like a sparkly shade. But yeah, I feel like at the time they made this one look like, oh my god, it's like so unique and like so crazy and like, you know, it's so beautiful. But It's just a neutral palette with a blue in it. Then we have the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon palette, and this is what this one looks like. Wow, dang girl, like she is used up if she's popping out of the fucking tin. Okay, so this is what the Chocolate Bonbon palette looks like. Yeah, I like this shade called Satin Sheets. That's pretty. Okay, so the next one is the Sweet Peach palette. I actually really do like the Sweet Peach. It had really unique shades, really great formula. The Sweet Peach was, I think, the most iconic one next to the chocolate bar, and it smells really good. The one that I think is my personal favorite is the Clover palette, and I wouldn't get rid of this one because it's the most colorful and it has the cutest packaging and it went towards a really good cause. I just really like this one. And then we have the white chocolate bar. This one is really light, really pastel. I do like the shades in here though, and I thought it was really cool at the time that it came out. But yeah, like Too Faced just doesn't care really about like making something, you know, like super deep. And then we have the Too Faced Chocolate Gold. So yeah, I really like this one. It just has like, girl, like the way these shimmers look. This one was one of their best palettes, hands down. And I believe this is the one that Jackie Aina was promoting. And then till this day, these are my favorite ones. These are the gingerbread palettes, and I would never get rid of these. I love the gingerbread palette. The original is so pretty. One of my favorite freaking palettes. I was so excited when they teased this one. And then we have the gingerbread extra spicy, and I love the shade up here. It's like a really pretty shade. I just really like the color story, and I actually did enjoy it. I do have a video with this one as well. Alright, getting down to my Huda Beauty palettes. I have one random Smashbox double exposure, and that's what this one looks like. Yeah, I think it's time to let this one go. Alright, so next we have the Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. I really like this one. This one was such a good palette as well. I had this one before like all the Naked palettes, and I freaking loved it. I remember I would always reach for these shades and the white. It's such a good palette. And then moving on to Huda Beauty, we have the Rose Gold palette. This is the remastered. I had the OG, but I decided to get rid of it, and I just ended up keeping the remastered one. I just feel like these shimmers in here are better and more foiled, and the mattes were just as comparable. So next we have the Desert Dusk, and this one again is really pretty. I really like this one. I like the warm tones. I like her formulation. It's really cute. And then we have the New Nude. I really love Huda Beauty's palettes, so that's how this happened, and I really like it. It has glitters in there though. And then finally the Mercury Retrograde, which is stunning. I really like the color story of this one. Alright, so I'm finally going to put everything back in the drawer and tell you guys what I'm getting rid of and what I'm keeping. And yeah, I'll be right back when all that's done. Alright, so the drawer looks a bit emptier than it did when I first started, and that's because, like I said, I've been decluttering some things. So the first palette I'm going to get rid of is the Revolution Peach palette. I'm just kind of over this one, so I'm going to go ahead and include this in a bundle with the rest of the palettes I'm going to show you. So this is the Revolution Red Alert. I can do with this one as well. It has really pretty shades. If you do like it, I definitely think like you should just try out the formula. But yeah, I think I'm pretty much good with this one. And then this one, like I said, I just have other blue palettes that I like a bit more. And this one, it has for the most part a couple mattes, but they're mattes that I probably already have shades like. I know I have Mochi from Sugar Pill, and like some shades from Give Me Glow. So I probably have shades like this already in my collection, as well as other single shadows. So yeah, they're really nice, but I feel like I can get rid of this one. And then this is the shimmer one. This one too. This is the Reloaded Passion for Color. And then the other one is just like the pink one called Provocative. And like I said, I have that Mauves palette from Profusion. This one's really pretty too. It has some nice shades. This is always the one that gets me. You know what? I'm going to compare this one to the Mauves one. And if I don't like it then I will get rid of it. And then we have the Smashbox Double Exposure. I just never ended up using this one, and I have shades like this one already. And then we have the Naked 2 palette. Like I said, I really do like this one. Of course, this is like my baby, but I just don't really find the need to have it anymore. I have the Naked Smoky, I have the Urban Decay Naked palette, and the Naked 3 I put it back. I was gonna get rid of that one, but I put it back just because I'm like, oh well. But yeah, the Naked 2 has gorgeous shades. And then the pink palette from Too Faced is the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette and the Too Faced Semi Sweet. So I will have a bundle with the Makeup Revolution, and then a bundle probably for these, but then everything else will be listed separately. And of course, what went in this drawer, what was like hiding right here, was the Keira Beauty palettes. Those I'm not getting rid of. But yeah, if you guys want to see part 5, make sure to just stay tuned. I'll go ahead and update you guys whenever I do upload that video. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. If you guys did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and turn on your post notifications. So you guys are always up to date on when I upload, and I will see you guys all in the next one. Bye guys.